Dyneema, Ultralight, thru-hiking, trekking pole tent. If any of those things interest you, then stick around, this is the Mid one. So Hyperlite have been making tents for a long time. They've been making pyramids and fully enclosed tents like the Ultimid and the Unbound series. The Mid one sort of sits right in the middle of those two. It's a pyramid design for lightweight and stormworthiness, and it's also fully enclosed like the Unbound to keep weight down. It's a single skin solo tent made from Dyneema, and it comes in at 454 grams for the tent itself, which is just bonkers. Now Hyperlite claim it's their lightest and fastest pitching shelter for solo adventurers, whether that's hiking, through hiking, paddling. Main thing is it is super light. If you're counting grams, this is the tent you want to have a look at. Ease of pitch, it's got one trekking pole through the middle, 4 corners that you stake out, plus 2 in the middle, 6 pegs, done and dusted, super easy, and stormworthiness. It's a mid pyramid design and it bucks the wind nicely if you set it up right. It is a 3-season shelter though, so don't go pitching it on the top of Mount Kosciuszko, but it is a super bomb-proof shelter for how light it is. If we run through some nitty-gritty features, the top cone is reinforced, so it's super strong. The internal door has no seam mesh, which keeps the bugs out, and it's also fully sealed around the bathtub with mesh as well, so you're not going to worry about bugs. The bathtub itself is nice and tall, made again of Dyneema to keep the weather out. If you are using a trekking pole and it's not quite tall enough to pitch, it comes with a 6-inch pole jack to get a bit extra height to pitch. It's also got heaps of tie outs on the panels of the tent. You can add extra guy line and reinforce it even more. It's also got 2 vents at the top to keep condensation to a minimum. Another awesome feature with the Mid one is in the vestibule. When you're rolling this tent up, like any vestibule, it rolls up nicely, but the latch to hold it down is a magnet. No need to tie it up, simple as that. There's also this clip at the bottom, meaning I can unclip both sides of the vestibule, roll them both up, magnet them down, just like that. So I've got heaps of ventilation, I can see all my gear. This guy line that I've added, it's not included here, but I would recommend adding another guy line. It's easy to do with the tie down at the top, but if I take this guy line off, it can feel a little flimsier. It's not, I mean, that's still pretty strong, but I just feel a little bit safer with a guy line coming down to that peg there, and then she's not going anywhere. This clip at the bottom also allows me to change sides of which door is open and not. So I can undo this side, clip it back up, and vice versa, depending on which way the wind's coming. The wind's coming in from this side today, so I'd close that door and have this side open. But yeah, really nice vestibule, especially with those magnets, making it nice and easy to tie up. Another thing to point out with the Mid one is the asymmetrical shape. The back side is angled a little shallower than the front side where the vestibule is, and if you're going to set it up with the wind facing this side. It'll buck the wind nicely and give you heaps of weather protection. Now coming inside the tent, one thing I was super surprised about is just how much room you've got in here. For a one-man tent and for how small it looks in the pictures, there's actually a fair bit of room in here. Heaps of headroom obviously. It's quite wide. It's just a rectangle shape in here with the bathtub, and the vestibule is quite roomy. There's an extra little gusset of space out here, so there's more than enough room to put a pack. You could even put your pack inside the tent if you wanted to, depending on how tall you are obviously. There's a little pocket in here to store gear. There's no loop up the top to hang a headlamp, which is probably one criticism I have of it. There's also these bungees on the bathtub that you can cinch up or drop down depending on how much wind and ventilation you want. You obviously drop them down to get more airflow and pull them up if you want to keep weather out. In between the bathtub and the wall, there's that mesh that I was talking about, so it's fully sealed from the bugs. And there's obviously this nice big door that ties up nicely with this little latch. And this door comes on the outside of this pole here. Why that's good is if you're sleeping at either end, and you can sleep at either end, if you want to grab something from over there, you don't have to reach around the pole, you can just reach around the mesh like that and grab something, which is nice and handy. Now I don't use trekking poles, so you can purchase a carbon pole that Hyperlite supply specifically for the Mid one. It's got some adjustability in height as well, so you can pitch it lower and spread it out for more weather protection, or how I've got it today, up at its highest, so you get the maximum airflow. But that's a super strong pole. But if you already hike with trekking poles, all you do is you put your trekking pole in there. But no, inside, super roomy. There's also the vent up here with some mesh, so condensation isn't too much of an issue. Yeah, quite comfy in here. So why should someone buy the Mid one? Well, if you're looking for an ultralight shelter for just you, this is a fantastic choice. It's 3 seasons, so you've got to keep that in mind. It's a trekking pole tent, so if you hike with trekking poles, a great option to save weight. If not though, like me, run the carbon pole. But yeah, the main thing is it's super light. If you're through hiking and want to save weight, you're doing a multi-day pack raft trip, something like that. I'm not an ultralight hiker by any stretch of the imagination, but I've grabbed this tent just to lighten the load so I can carry more camera gear or more fishing gear, something like that. It's another great reason to buy one of these. But yeah, if you're looking for a single skin ultralight tent, the Mid one's fantastic. I've only spent a handful of nights in this tent, but I'm really keen to keep testing it over the summer and years to come. And yeah, that's the Hyperlite Mid one.